Hey guys, okay, so we are here with another Divine Counterpart collective, I guess, update. We are going to be doing, I wanted to do like a midweek check-in on Wednesday. It's currently Friday here in Australia. And Wednesday, I don't think I was supposed to, but I still channeled some stuff that I will share so that you can go back and sort of see where you're at. I feel like there may be half of the people need to hear the Wednesday message, and then half of the people need to hear today's message, and it's going to be like confirmation for both. I'm just sort of playing this by ear because this is obviously my first ever midweek check-in. I'm just sort of creating the structure as I go. We will get into like tarot and oracles like we did with the first message. So on Wednesday, so on the 30th of the 3rd, and I'm discovering that spirit, or my spirit team, give me these messages really interestingly, so through music. And that makes sense because I'm a singer. So on Wednesday, the divine masculine, when I sort of tuned in and sort of meditated on that energy, really what came to me was I heard Heaven, the candlelight version, but specifically I heard the baby, you're all that I want, will you lie here in my arms? That's what I heard. And then I also heard the words compassion and depth, okay? And then I also heard Ready or Not by Bridget Mendler. Which is, you know, you guys will know her if you used to watch Disney, but you can look up those. I will leave the links in the description for those songs so you can sort of like look them up. And then for the Divine Feminine, I heard the words Picture Perfect, and something told me to look up that song, and it what came up was Picture Perfect by, where is it? By Little Sims. What I've done as well, guys, if you guys are interested, if any of you guys use Spotify, I have created a Divine Counterpart Collective playlist of all the songs that I channel. So if you feel that you are part of the Divine Counterpart Collective, this one, the one that I am a part of, that I'm speaking for, then I'll put the link for the playlist in the description as well, so you can go. I'm just adding like all of these songs. And then the combined collective, I was guided to just go on my Spotify and search, just find like a random playlist that was being shown to me on my Spotify, and just shuffled, and it came up Thank You Song by FKA Twigs, which is part of her new album, which very much relevant to those energies. All three of those were all very relevant to the energies in that day. Also guys, if you're not already, follow me on Instagram because I do post daily Divine Counterpart messages, and it's funny because I've gone and I've batched my content for the week, and I've scheduled the Instagram posts, and as they're posting, I'm going to check the post as they've just automatically posted, and I can't help but laugh to myself because that's exactly what I'm experiencing. So I'm trying not to look back at what the posts are like today and things like that, so that I can be surprised later when they post and see how it's sort of panned out. I love that, it's so cool. Also, when I was channeling the Divine Feminine, I guess current energy back on Wednesday, I also saw like the hibiscus flower emoji in my mind's eye, and so I decided to Google hibiscus. Oh, hang on. I wrote hibiscus flower meaning or spiritual meaning. Yeah, spiritual meaning. And it's crazy. Hibiscus meaning includes femininity, So on a spiritual level, these flowers are also symbols of the divine feminine, and it's important to know that it's healthy for both men and women to embrace balanced male and female energy. Female power includes the ability to create and nurture life. So this was definitely where the divine feminines were at. That was sort of like a little confirmation. And if we look up the lyrics, if you guys are looking up the lyrics for these channeled songs, guys, I mean, if you're looking at the channel songs, I definitely highly suggest looking up the lyrics as you're listening to it, because it's just crazy the way that these lyrics sort of really play into, you know, the meanings. So if we look up Picture Perfect, Little Sims, it says, so the beginning start is like a vocal sample of like someone speaking these words. It says, welcome to Wonderland, Simbi, trust in your intuition. What a wizard I am. BITCH, I'm the man. Don't be scared, give me your hand, take you to Wonderland. It's just like, it's sort of like, she raps a little bit. It's crazy, like the energy that I felt that day, and then having known that that was the channeled energy, it really just reflected, and I'm loving that so much. So today's energies, I just meditated on the energies, and I started with the collective, the combined, so both whoever was embodying the divine masculine and whoever was embodying the divine feminine, because as I've mentioned in my first video, the counterparts, so me and my partner, we will change and swap depending on what we're doing, depending on what we're working on, going through things like that. I try not to focus too much on who is who, although sometimes it feels relevant for me to do so. Like at the moment, I have no idea. I literally have no idea which I am embodying and which he is embodying. And it doesn't really matter, but it can give you some, like, it can give you a better idea of sort of even like where you're at. So the combined energies of both of us today, both counterparts, is it wasn't there, they didn't give me a song, but I will today do the, I guess, a little bit of divination with my Spotify. I'll do that with you guys here now. But what I did channel was the words bucket and spade, and then I saw a bucket and spade. And what I get from that intuitively is, you know, a bucket and a spade, they are counterparts, right? You have an intention with the sand, and I think the sand would be representing, or whatever you're putting into a bucket would be representing the external, okay? But also the spiritual, the connection, okay? So one of you is shoveling, is the spade, one of you is shoveling, and the other is the container, the other is holding. So I guess one of them is holding space, and I guess the other is doing the work and putting the energy in, which is really, really cool, because that's something that we do quite frequently talk about, you know, holding space for one another, or, you know, one person needing to hold space for the other while the other person, you know, goes through and deals with, you know, something quite difficult. So I feel like this is talking about a sense of teamwork. I'm going to write that quickly. Teamwork. Beautiful. Okay, so the divine masculine, the divine masculine energy. So whichever one of you is currently embodying the divine masculine archetype, I heard breaking free from High School Musical. So specifically, we're soaring, flying. That's what I heard. And that's also really funny because something that my partner and I bonded over in the beginning stages of our friendship was that we both used to be obsessed with High School Musical. And like we still like really love it to this day. So that's really funny. I guess, yeah, like Troy and Gabriella, counterparts. So I feel like if we look at the lyrics to that, let's analyze the lyrics. I wish I could play it, like, but I don't want to get copyright, you know? Okay, so breaking free. It's going to be really funny that is in the Divine Counterpart playlist. Where is it? I'm just adding it now. Beautiful. Let's look up the lyrics. We're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach if we're trying, so we're breaking free. And I feel like, I don't want to give too much away, but at least what's been playing out in my life, not just in my connection, but in my life in general, is really a sense of, and we've been talking about this over on my TikTok and briefly in the initial video I did at the beginning of the week, but the energies of dealing with childhood trauma and really working through that. I had a huge breakthrough. Was it Wednesday morning? No, it would have been Tuesday morning. So yeah, Tuesday morning I had a really big breakthrough in understanding how an experience I had in my childhood with my father, how that subconsciously formed a belief for me that, you know, every experience that I had from that point on solidified that subconscious belief. And I carried that through with me into all of my life, not just my relationships. And I'm just now realizing how that plays out. And, you know, I was able to have a conversation with my dad. And it's really interesting because the whole crux of it was a misunderstanding, a misinterpretation of where we were both coming from. So breaking free, I feel like the Divine Masculines are really sort of now working on or feeling like they're breaking free from their whatever trauma or whatever wounding is coming up for them, whatever, you know, self-limiting beliefs or self-limiting things that they're dealing with, you know, that they're going through. And I feel like, see, this is where I get confused about who's embodying what energy, because I feel like I've just done this. So it doesn't really matter. Essentially, you're both going to be going through what one of you have gone through first, and it won't always be the feminine going through first and then holding space for the masculine to do so. Sometimes it's the other way around. So please don't get caught up on that. Just sort of like, just take in what I'm saying, because what's important isn't what's going on. What's important is, like, the whole point of me doing this is so that I can help you guys process what I've been processing, what I've been going through, because it helps not only ourselves individually, but the connection and the relationship with our counterpart as well. So I feel like that is super important here. And for those of you, this isn't like a twin flame situation. This is very like a different approach and a different belief than the whole twin flame thing. So check the description box. I've briefly explained that. Okay, great. Then the Divine Feminines, their channel song is Heat Stroke by Calvin Harris, which is a little bit more lighthearted. So in both of these, you know, Wednesday's energies and today's energies, both Divine Feminine's energies have been quite lighthearted. So let's look up lyrics for Heat Stroke. And this is one of my favorite songs. Okay, so the beginning, I don't know if you guys know, but it's like the, won't you please slow it down? I'm trying to talk to you, darling. I'm trying to walk with you, darling. Do you hear me? And no, nobody can stop it. The love you got from me. And every time I look out at my seat today, they chase, they flash, yes. And then the verse, tell me how you feel right now, because all I want to do is keep it real right now. I'm trying to beat it up, boot pills right now. Athletic in the sheets, I got skills right now. So it's very like that fun, loving, lighthearted energy. And then the pre-chorus, please let go and have a good time. Have a good time. Okay, I'm definitely resonating with the Divine Feminine energies. What else? Okay, so I was thinking of the wrong song, but it's featuring Ariana Grande. And Ariana Grande, the chorus, Ariana Grande's part is, when you do things like this, and you set me free. How can anyone get tired? When you do things like this and you set me free, I think I just been inspired, oh babe. I love it. It's so good. So definitely check that out, listen to it, and just really sort of like read the lyrics, because it really sets the tone for how, you know, how the divine feminines are at the moment. Okay, so what we're going to do for the combined energies, I know we had the bucket and spade symbolism, the teamwork, but let's find what, I'm going to turn the volume down so it doesn't, okay, Spirit, where are you taking me? Where are we going? Okay, dream playlist rotation, going to the dopamine playlist, and we're going to think number 7. So we're going to shuffle 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is really funny. The combined energies is Smoking Out the Window by Silk Sonic, which is really funny because it's mine and my partner's. We love Silk Sonic, like absolutely obsessed. Okay, so wait a minute, this love started out so tender, so sweet, but now she got me smoking out the window. I feel like we're both sort of feeling as though, like, especially when it comes to triggering each other, we're like, okay, this was like so wonderful in the beginning. How do we get to this point where it's like, it's not bad, right? But these triggers are quite difficult to deal with, quite difficult to sort of go through. And it's like where we're both coming from, we're both really wanting to get back to the good times and get back, not that this is a bad time, but where we're in flow, because right now obviously we're not in flow, and that's okay, that's normal, that happens. Every time that we become disconnected or, you know, out of the flow, it's always only just an opportunity to reconnect and to build and grow, because that's what we want, right? Relationships that aren't growing aren't lasting. There's no point in being in a relationship that doesn't grow. Let me just write this. So that's really what I got from the meaning of that song. It's very much like that. Like, when you listen to the song, don't get caught up on the whole, you know, he's talking about how she doesn't want him and how he's spending all this money on her. It's not, like, don't focus on that. Really what I'm getting from this is both coming from different points of relation. So where we're relating to each other is misaligned at this point. And it's due to the things that the unhealed things, the things that need to be healed that aren't being healed, essentially. So yeah, it's like it was like this, now it's like this type of thing. I will get a clarifier though. 3 shuffles, Spirit, for a clarifier for Smoking Out the Window, please. 1, 2, 3. Borderline, Tame Impala. Gone a little far this time with something. How was I to know this high came rushing? We're on the borderline. That's, yeah, very much still exactly saying what I was saying. Let me just write clarified. Okay. We're on the borderline, caught between the tides of pain and rapture. Possibly a sign. I'm going to have the strangest night on Sunday. Okay, don't know what Sunday's got to do with this, but don't be worried by that. We'll see. Sunday may be significant. It's going to be a fight, going to be a price to pay on Monday. Very interesting. You guys will have to let me know how this plays out. So Sunday and Monday feel significant here. And then, thank you for that, Spirit. We're going to do, what is your advice, Spirit? Do we want another playlist? No? Okay. How many shuffles? 4 shuffles for advice for the Divine Counterpart Collective. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another Tame Impala song. I don't know, do you guys, is Tame Impala significant to you guys? I have Lost in Yesterday lyrics tattooed on me. This was the first tattoo I ever got because that song spoke to me so deeply. But I'm curious to see if, you know, it's significant at all for you guys. It's specifically Breathe Deeper, the Lil Yachty remix, which is such a weird collab, right? Okay, let's see. Wait. Breathe Deeper. So Lil Yachty's verse, baby girl wanna kick it, spend late nights trying to impress the wicked. Off 2 tabs, I'm gone. Mine too fried, couldn't remember the digits. Okay, so it's quite a sensual. Yeah, just look it up. So the chorus. So Kevin from Tame Impala, his chorus. Seems you're coming on, breathe a little deeper. Should you need to come undone and choose and let those colors run, now you're having fun. That's what I was getting at, fun. So do this and get through this and come find me when you're done so we can be as one. Oh my God, stop. Are you kidding? I love that. Okay, so let's do, I'm just writing this in for here. Oh, can you guys hear that wind? Love it. Okay. So yeah, the advice from Spirit is to be like have a little bit more fun. So try and sort of like sit in that playful energy. Yeah, I have more to share, but I don't want to sit here too much with the combined energies. I know that you guys are wanting the reading. We're going to go in depth and do the same 4-card spread that we did last time. I've got a couple more cards that I would like to use. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So I'm just going to move you guys back. Oh, forgot I need this deck. All right, cool. So this is the Whispers of Love Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield. This is what I used in my last video. Okay, Spirit team. We're going to be doing messages, the 4-card spread, please, for the Divine Counterpart Collective that I am a part of, that I am aligned with. First card is going to be us, those who are watching, us. That's everyone's garbage bins out the front in the wind. Possibly mine, to be honest. So the first card is us, those who are watching, and what we're contributing to the relating here and now. Second card is going to be the other person, so your counterpart, our counterpart, and what they are contributing to the relating here and now. The combined energies of both of us, and the advice from Spirit. So essentially what I did with channeling. Alright, 3 more shuffles. Oh, we've got the new moon tonight. I think I've just done more than 3, but I'll stop here. So this will be interesting how the new moon energies play into this. All right, first card. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Love it. Okay, so us. We've got the card, love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth, okay? And this makes a lot of sense because this is what I've been doing over the last couple of days. So like yesterday, for example, it really coincides with my Instagram post, which I will get up. So yesterday's Instagram post, you can go back and have a look at these. It's just, my username is just the exact same as here on my YouTube. I literally laughed when I saw this, like once it posted. So the Divine Counterpart daily message. Someone may seem reclusive today. The other person. This isn't anything to be worried about though, where usually it would worry me. I feel like for a lot of you reading this, it'll be your counterpart. However, it is likely it could be you reading this. The person who seems to be withdrawn, I guess in a way are withdrawn. However, it's for good reason, and it is serving not only themselves, but the connection too. I had a dream as well last night. For a lot of us, this is about communication and the lack of communication, verbal communication from our counterpart. Let me just finish this because my ADHD brain just likes to go here and everywhere. So I do apologize for that, guys. However, it's for good reason, and it is serving not only themselves, but the connection too. They're in deep introspection today, seeking answers for knowledge that can be found only within themselves. For a lot of them, this is divine soul wisdom that they absorb spiritually, which what I meant by that was they take it on and they integrate it spiritually, not necessarily cognitively like we do. This in turn benefits them on a 3D level. It's tricky and tiring, I know, but try to just focus on what's coming up for you today. You don't need to worry about them disconnecting again. In fact, this is helping them connect with you. So yeah, that's where I was at yesterday, and I definitely noticed that my divine counterpart was barely speaking, was obviously just not himself, which is, that's the genuine, like the general thing that sort of comes up a lot of the time, that sort of used to trigger me into like my fear of abandonment, which would then, I would see things through the lens of that. So it was really hard to see the truth of the situation. So for a lot of us, I feel as though those who at least resonate with this Divine Counterpart collective, there is a lack, or there seems to be a lack of verbal communication and clear communication between the two of you when it comes to the negative emotions or things that are more of a serious nature. And for the divine counterparts that are the ones that are struggling to express verbally, look at my throat, how it's going like that now that I'm speaking about that, verbally express themselves or what's going on inside them when it comes to those heavier sort of things, this is due to childhood. This is due to past emotional neglect in a way. It was never modeled to them that they had needs, emotional needs, and those needs were important and they mattered in all types of relationships in their life. And they probably weren't prioritized. Their needs, emotional needs probably weren't prioritized, just sort of like physical needs and things like that, which is really sad, but it's really quite common. And if that's the case with your counterpart, it's the same for you, but in a very different way. For me, my emotional needs, I didn't internalize that they didn't matter. Oh, well, I did, but in a different way. It's really hard to explain because it's quite dense psychologically. More so that it didn't stop me from expressing them, if that makes sense. If anything, it sort of led me to overexpress and seek more of that from people that I'm in connection with, which is what is clashing here with our counterparts, because they have internalized that their emotional needs don't matter, especially when it comes to negative, things or negative feelings, and they feel a deep, immense amount of shame when it comes to those because of the way that sort of that dynamic was in their childhood. So the main thing is like guilt and shame for having those harder to deal with emotions. And I was having this conversation I was trying to have this conversation with my counterpart on, what was it? Wednesday. And he started to shut down, and I noticed. he became very tired, and we were sitting on the bed when this happened, and he was laying down because he'd just come home from work, and he, I was just talking through him. Like, I was feeling quite neutral, so it wasn't an emotionally charged conversation whatsoever. It was more like a discussion that I was trying to have. And he started to shut down. He closed his eyes and he was laying there answering me still, but obviously couldn't focus. He was in freeze mode, which is one of the four survival responses that our bodies naturally do. So it's either fight, flies, freeze, or fawn. So freeze / shut down. And he very much was shutting down. And when this happens, it's a lot of the answers I will receive is, I don't know. He can't, he starts to immediately dissociate. It's not something he chooses. It's something that his nervous system or his brain, it's like an automatic thing. It's like isolating, but he can't like physically isolate. So he internally isolates by dissociating. And I just decided, okay, well, maybe asking yes or no questions is going to be more beneficial, because it's not that it's so much for me, it's more that it's for him, because it's obviously dangerous and unhealthy to be going this way for 23 years of your life. At one point it was a survival thing, but now it's becoming a problem for him. And that's usually what happens. So we got to the point I said, okay, so I can see that you're uncomfortable right now. Is that true? And he said yes. And he's still doing this with his eyes closed. And I said, okay, that's okay. Are you aware of what feelings are coming up for you, or are you not able to identify them and you just feel uncomfortable? And he said, the first one. I said, okay, so you know right now what it is that is bothering you, or what it is that you are feeling, that it's making you uncomfortable, but you can't express it or verbalize it. Is that right? And he said, yes. I said, okay. I said, so what feelings come up around why you can't verbalize it? And he said, I don't know. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go through the different types of feelings. It wasn't anger, it wasn't sadness, it wasn't agitation, it wasn't frustration, it wasn't shame, but it was guilt. And that's where it sort of stopped. I sort of sat there and I was thinking, okay, like what could he possibly be guilty about? And he fell asleep mid-conversation. He fell asleep when I was talking to him. And this very much solidified the whole shutdown thing for me, because I've seen this happen with another family member of mine. There will be a lot of sleeping, a lot of the body trying to protect it from danger by playing dead. It's very interesting to read about psychologically. So look that up, shutdown response, and it's almost like like stress-induced coma. Do you know what I mean? Like hibernation almost. So for those of you who resonate with that, whether that's you or you've noticed that that's something that happens with someone in your life, very interesting to read about. So then the next day, I didn't go into it. I didn't push. And I ended up having a conversation with a stepsister of mine. I have 4 stepsisters. And we were having a conversation that, we spoke for hours about our struggles with this, because we're both experiencing the same thing. And we came to the conclusion that I wrote it down in my journal. We came to the conclusion that if we look, so the problem that we're experiencing in this, right, where we sort of disconnect is we need that verbal communication to understand what's going on, so that we don't take that on and get triggered by that. So yes, it's sort of trauma response is relying on another person to be okay, for us to be okay, and that's unhealthy. So we tried to look at it from a different perspective, and I can very much trace it back to an experience I had, which we'll probably share in another video. I want to do a separate video on that. I don't want to sort of plague, I know you guys are here for the reading, but I just feel like the context is really important for you guys to understand, so that you can integrate these energies and actually see progression in your relationship, because that's what you're here for, right? It's all about what we do. And we realized that, okay, so communication really isn't just verbal or vocal. If we really think about it, we have been trying, we've only been looking for what we've been wanting, what we've been trying to get, which was that verbal communication. But when we think about it, people communicate in various different ways. It's not always just verbally. People communicate by their actions, by their body language, by their facial expressions, which, funnily enough, is what we were picking up on when we feel that something's off. When we're hypervigilant and we feel that something's off with our counterpart, it's not based on what they say. It's more that what they don't say. It's what we're observing and what we're viewing. So what's really funny, ironic about that is we're not actually observing what is there, right? And there are cues there. What is there? And when we looked back, I looked back and I was able to notice throughout the week that there was, and I did talk about this in the last video, how, he acknowledged, me doing the washing when I'd noticed that he was obviously feeling a lot of exhaustion and couldn't do his normal chore that he liked to do. So I handled that for him, and he made a point of thanking me for that and expressing gratitude and appreciation, not just, oh, thanks for doing that. It was a, thank you so much for doing that for me. I really appreciate that you handled that. And that went completely over my head, because to me, that's just a normal thing. You just thank someone for doing it. But it was the way in which he thanked me that I didn't realize. That was, I guess, a word of affirmation, affirming his gratitude and appreciation for me doing something for him. He also came home early the other day to surprise me, which is the day that we had that discussion where he shut down, to surprise me. And I didn't realize, but he was considering me by wanting to surprise me. As well, on Tuesday night, I noticed that he was out doing stuff, and his communication about, like, he's usually very an organized person, so he'll always inform me like what's going on and what he's doing and when he plans to come home and what his plans, just to inform me, just because that's a common courtesy for him. And, we sort of I realized that he was a bit sporadic and all over the place. And instead of freaking out about that and going, why aren't you doing this and using that as another thing, another, thing of proof as to why things were different or he was disconnecting from the relationship, I sort of just allowed it to be. I didn't want to put pressure, and I just sort of just continued on with what I was doing. And then about 20 minutes later, he sent me a message saying, baby, I'm so sorry that my communication has been like really shit tonight. Like, I really do appreciate, I really do apologize for that. And, I just want to let you know that a lot's been going on today and things have been all over the place. I thanked him in that moment and shared my appreciation of him, giving me that courtesy of letting me know. But what I didn't do was allow myself to appreciate that. I expressed my appreciation to him, but it was more of an acknowledgement. It wasn't necessarily an appreciation of gratitude. I didn't feel that. I didn't let myself feel that. So I've been really lately looking for that. That's the communication that he's giving. And a lot of the time, the communication that I'm wanting from him is, what do you need from me? What do you need right now? Why are you so shut down? And I'm feeling neglected, so it's obvious that you're feeling neglected too. So what can I do for you? How can I help you? So that you can then help me and we can continue helping each other in this beautiful flow. And I realized that he wasn't able to verbally say, hey, I feel underappreciated in my life right now and in my work, and that's taking a toll on me. I would really, feel appreciated if you showed that to me, your appreciation and your gratitude and acknowledgement. I didn't even consider that, but that's him communicating that, because we're both, the point of relation, again, what I was talking about before, is we're both coming from different points of relation. I'm trying to give him more physical touch and attention and affection because that's what I'm trying to get from him. He's trying to do to me, trying to give me what he's trying to get from me, and it's not clicking. It's not clicking, Stephen. It's not. Yeah, so this is the perspective. It's really hard though. So this is why I feel it's really important to share, because I feel like I want to say every relationship that fails, it's due to this. It's due to this, because what happens when this extends for a long period of time, both partners just accept that and they continue to the rest of the relationship with their needs going unmet. So then it ends in various different ways. But if we can pay attention to see what's being said that isn't actually being said, then it's really going to allow you the opportunity to take control of the situation that you're not enjoying, which is the whole, going back to the whole smoking out the window, borderline? What was it was that a channeled? Yeah, borderline and smoking out the window for the combined energies. It's the frustration, it's the disconnection and not, we're speaking different language. Us and our counterparts are speaking a different language and we're trying to communicate, but we're coming from different places. It's a different point of relation. So in order to do that, if there's for example, if there's two people that are in love and there's a language barrier, they both speak different languages. You communicate through your body language. You communicate by doing things. I also recognized and realized yesterday that, my counterpart and I, when we went to do our grocery shopping, I needed to put air in my tire. He got out and did that for me. And I said, no, I can do it. And he goes, no, I can do it. He did it. And when we bought lunch after purchasing our groceries for the week, he insisted on paying for my lunch. And it's just little things like that I consider a given, right? That he doesn't consider a given, but that he does. It's not an expectation for him. So it's a choice and it's a conscious effort. But for me, expectations are something that I struggle with too. Like I do put like a sense of expectations on those things, but it's like an unconscious expectation due to what I want from someone. So being really aware of that, those of us who are resonating with this, love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. Okay. And I wrote down some points when my sister and I were sort of brainstorming how we can sort of take back our power in the situation and how we can, I guess, help them. And it's not doing it for them, and it's not sacrificing, we're needing a certain type of love language. And we're paying attention and sort of going from their love language. It's not that we're missing out, because, and trust me, I put this into practice yesterday. When we come from their point of relation, and it's only for the moments that we're disconnected, it's only from the moments that we are needing different things. And our primary love languages will change, right? My primary love language has always been words of affirmation, but at the moment it's physical touch and words of affirmation underneath it. I also recognized that my counterpart had been coming into my sanctuary part of the house, which is the bedroom. I love to relax, and I feel the bedroom is very healing for me, and being comfortable is very healing for me. So it's my comfort zone. His is the lounge room here, this spot. And I'd noticed for the last 3.5 weeks, he had been spending a lot of time in there with me. He was coming into my space. So he was trying to give me what he was wanting and what he was needing. But because of the past childhood trauma, it wasn't easy for him. It wasn't natural. It's not natural for him to be able to identify that's what he needs. But on a sympathetic, the sympathetic nervous system, on that level, it's something that comes naturally to him, if that makes sense. So it's like an unconscious thing of how he's communicating love and sharing love and reciprocating love based from what he needs, which I find very interesting. And that's what we do as well. So I channeled Love Language by Kehlani. That is what came to mind when I sort of had that point of, aha, that's what this is. So acknowledgement of the partner. So this is what I'd written down. So that acknowledgement internally, acknowledging, okay, this is where they're coming from, this is what they need. So because I'm so stressed about not understanding what his needs are, and it's affecting his mood, and it's affecting our relationship, and it's creating a disconnect because he doesn't know how to communicate that, I'm needing to try a different way of seeing how he communicates. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't going to be a forever thing, because when we acknowledge and come from their point of relation, they feel a sense of fulfillment and nourishment and nurturing from the relationship and from us, which then translates to them. They go, oh, that's better. Oh, that's what I needed in that moment. That's what I need. And they become able to identify what that need is, and then we, in hindsight, we can discuss that, which we have before, how that was impacting and how, that's what that meant. So next time, just tell me. And it's like, okay, it's not, he doesn't have to feel guilty about saying, look, you're coming at me with all the things that you need from me right now, but what about what I need? It's almost like a selfish thing. They feel selfish. And for the counterparts, that's gonna be a different thing. But for me, I feel like intuitively that's definitely what it is for him. And I had a dream last night that he had figured that out and communicated that to me. And I feel like that's very, very reflective of where I sort of, how I'm putting those pieces together, connecting those dots. Recognizing how they are showing love, and that they are showing love, right? Because we're noticing the absence of what we're looking for, what we're wanting, what we feel we're needing. We're looking for that, and we're noticing an absence of it, but we're not realizing that they are still showing love. It's not that they don't love us anymore and they're going to leave us or whatever. It's that it's there, but just the point of relation is different because it's what they need. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. They come to understand it a little bit better. There isn't a lack, but it is just different than what we've been used to, or what we're looking for based on what we need. So we're looking for each other, right? This is mirroring. We're both looking to each other for what it is we need, and we're not getting it, and it's creating this distance. So, not that it's our responsibility, but if we can recognize this, we're helping them. And there are going to be many other instances throughout the duration of the relationship where they're doing that, where they're doing those things for us, but just in different ways. So we both have our, I guess you could say, downfalls or weaknesses. I don't think they are. They're just learning curves that the other is stronger in. And that's the beauty of the dynamic. And that's the purpose of these relationships. So that, me, for example, I'm here sharing this with you guys, helping you guys with this. So they're communicating via their actions, not words yet. And they don't know that language. We're teaching them that that's what that means. So when this happens, and when you feel like this, I was able to recognize through your actions. You communicate through your actions. I communicate through my words. That's what you need, and this is how I do it. It's like learning literally learning a language. Everyone talks about understanding each other's love languages, but no one talks about the fact that it is literally learning a new language. And if you're not aware that you are needing to learn a new language, or not able to identify that someone else is speaking a different language to you, because it's not verbal, it's not obvious. It's really hard, and it can cause a lot of strain on relationships. So that is, I guess, what I wanted to share about the Divine Feminines and how that's playing out for them. I will quickly just read the explanation from this. I know we're 49 minutes in, but this is really important stuff. Really, really important stuff. And I feel like we're on the verge of a breakthrough here, and I would be absolutely selfish to leave any pieces out if it can impact at least one person that watches this video. Love is all around you. Okay, look around you and recognize that love is showing itself to you all the time and everywhere. It may be a smile on a stranger's face or a simple act of kindness. It may be the warm sun in a blue sky. Life is wonderful. How lucky you are to be so loved. So for that, I feel like specifically for this situation, that very much definitely talks about what I was just explaining. Okay, now the Divine Masculines, or the counterpart, the other counterpart. My favorite card in this deck, I'm so excited. Union of Hearts. There is a connection of love that defies explanation. And I feel like this is where they are sort of coming from. I feel like they're more sort of like, we're focusing on how to integrate what's happening in the 3D, the external reality, and they're doing the inner spiritual sort of integration. So let's read this. This is so special, unique, and cannot be defined in words. I'm literally dead. I have to laugh when this happens because I got full body chills. What were we just talking about? Literally cannot be defined in words. Stop. This is love that is comfortable and fits perfectly. It can be between parents and children, in a romantic relationship, or in a special friendship. So that that honestly solidifies that. And we will be pulling some tarot as well, so don't worry about that. But I feel like I feel like I don't need to sort of pull more on where we're coming from, those of us who are watching this, because I've shared my lived experience, whereas our counterparts, we don't exactly know, so I feel like we will need a little bit more information. But the combined energies, so what does it say? What we are both contributing to the relating here and now? Yeah, romance. Lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. This is what we're going to be getting. We've been wanting the affection, and for some of you it's going to be different, right? But I feel like with this card, it's all of it encompassing. So it's quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, and as well, doing things for each other, gift giving. So doing the things, like special things. Okay, let's read this. 25. Oh, I love this. I'm so excited about this. Quality time is what is needed now. Whether you are in a relationship or between relationships, do something special that brings romance back into your life. Confirmation of my dryer. If you are single, it is important that you do something for you. So I feel like that's not going to apply because that's not what this collective is about. This collective is in connection with someone. And then goodness me, my memory is shocking. The insight or guidance around the situation. Forgiveness. Nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. And that's definitely where we're coming from. We're both sort of, and I think us as well, because we're able to realize, okay, well, we're feeling the same sorts of energies of past disappointments, but we actually have an awareness now of how that impacted and what that, how that was, where that was stemming from, which was everything I just talked about. And I feel like us coming from that place of understanding and sort of changing our approach to this disconnect is what, is helping them come to terms with it. And it may not be a conscious thing, it may be sort of like, as I said, a very spiritual thing. They're very much coming from a very spiritually integrating place. And for those whose counterparts have been sleeping a lot lately or just been very exhausted, they're getting a lot of these downloads and information. They're integrating it through their sleep. And I feel like, I feel like that's how they are spiritual. So we are very much spiritual on a very conscious, mundane, everyday level. Them, I feel like not so much. Still, but in a different way. Okay, let's see. Being willing to forgive yourself and others opens the door to the opportunity of future growth. Love will be restored and trust can be rebuilt. Move from a place of bitterness back to the joy that you deserve in your life. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to grab some of these Moonology cards. This is by Yasmin Boland. All right, Spirit Team. Let's clarify. Yeah, let's clarify the opposite divine counterpart, oh shivers, where they're at currently. What's, you know, sort of playing out with this union of hearts. There is a connection of love that defies explanation that they are embodying currently. How they are contributing, what energies, what they're going through, what is being contributed to this connection. Believe in the impossible. So I feel like I need to read that because I want to know, like, with this deck, if you guys have this deck, you know that what says on the cards can also be elaborated on in a very different way than you would first assume when reading the card. So I feel like it's important for me to sort of pull on this, and I don't use this deck very often. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it is important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. I feel like they're getting a chance, or they're getting an opportunity, and I feel like they are sort of, it's not us that are sort of needing to believe in the impossible, it's them. And I feel like they're recognizing something, and it's tied to them having the chance and the opportunity to break a cycle, to really do the work, to really sort of like have a breakthrough. The same way that I guess we have been, which is amazing, because I think something that is a very valid fear and worry for us is that, you know, we're doing all the work, but what if they don't? And that's where we need to trust that the connection, the relationship is destined for our counterpart to be doing the work that we're doing. Okay, a personal issue reaches resolution, bring love into the situation. Okay, so we've got Cancer and Aquarius here, so if that resonates, but it doesn't matter about the signs, because if you're resonating with the energies that I'm explaining, then you're part of this counterpart collective. Yeah, okay, so an opportunity for them to really close out a personal issue, as I said, whether that be, I feel like it's going to be something that comes up for a lot of them internally as well as externally. So it could be like an opportunity to get out of their job, or an opportunity to get their dream job, or something like that, that is a reflection of what's happening internally. So it's like an opportunity, a two-sided opportunity to clear past you know, patterns and traumas, and get what they want externally as well as from the connection. We've got bring love into the situation. So they're definitely sort of the same as us, and it's really being reflected. They're choosing to focus on the love. Where is it? Aquarius is all about progress, and so in this time, so this is the time to move forwards. No looking back. Change is on its way, and it could come quickly. Whether you get the change you want depends on whether you believe you can have it. Again, going back to the believe in the impossible. And how much you're relying on others to bring it to you. I feel like we've realized this, which is why we're coming from this place now. This card comes with the suggestion that you may need to do things independently on your own, but be loving, not too pragmatic. Time may be of the essence when this card comes up. Aquarius energy has an electric feel to it. Certainly there is a sense that you need to let go of the past and move towards your future thinking outside the box will bring the solution. Yeah, so I definitely feel like, yeah, they're getting sort of like, it's like this once in a lifetime opportunity for them to be like, hang on. Okay, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing the pattern there. Let's choose to shift it. Let's choose to shift it. Quick drink break, 1 sec. Okay. What else is going on for our divine counterparts, please, Spirit Team? Currently, right now, in this moment. And you know, how it's contributing to our connection, obviously. You can't make this up. You literally can't make this up. It's so obvious that they are, and this goes back to my dream I had where he realized what he felt the courage to open up. And it's not about opening up because they're open, right? They share love, they give love. You know, it's been, you know, they have no problem expressing the good stuff, but the hard stuff, the fearful stuff is what the problem is. There's a lot of, we've got Cancer, Scorpio, and Aquarius energies here. So check what signs, what houses you have those in your birth chart. So for me, Cancer's in my 12th house. Aquarius is in my 7th house, partnerships. And, excuse me, Scorpio is in my 4th house of home. So there's a lot of, like, this is being reflected. So what I've done, what we've done is being reflected for them. So he's an Aquarius, Sun, rising, Venus, and Uranus in his 1st house. So the self. His Cancer is in his sixth house, so everyday life, his everyday routines, everyday life, and Scorpio is in his 10th house, career, reputation, things like that. So this could very much, I'm seeing that this could have something to do with his work as well, that opportunity. This is crazy. This would show the world the real you. What I was saying. They're communicating, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get the communication card. Again, the beep. It happens incrementally, but I'm paying attention to what I'm saying as it's beeping, sort of like a synchronicity. This is literally what else. This is so much Aquarius energy. Yeah, so show the world the real you. This is really, I feel like, yeah, he's having they're having the once in a lifetime, sort of not once in a lifetime, but it's like, it comes up really unexpectedly, really quite quickly, where they are able to see the pattern, or they get a glimpse, and they're like, oh, okay, I understand. And they're looking at the bigger picture here, and they're looking at the bigger picture, not only for the bigger picture of the present, of the future, for the future, but they're also looking at the bigger picture from how that's impacted their past. Something clicks. Something is clicking for them. And look, show the world the real you. I can't get over that. That very much solidifies my dream that I had about them, about, you know, my counterpart coming forward to me and expressing like, okay, like, you know, and in the dream, I was like, yeah, and why would you feel guilty for telling me that? You know, like, even if it's something that's like a criticism, like a constructive criticism, or I just feel like it's very, and I've noticed this, my counterpart is very uncomfortable with letting me know when I've done something and it's upset him, or you know, rubbed him the wrong way, or he doesn't like it, or something like that. And I'm very much a type of person, I'm like, I want to know, like, I need to know that, because I don't want to be causing you that pain. I don't want to be, you know, doing something that is affecting you negatively, because I want someone to be aware of when they're doing that to me. So I treat that very much the same way. And that's very uncomfortable for them. That's very, very uncomfortable for them. And I feel like if I look at his past relationships and what I know to be true about those, I can very much see how that could have been in the past met with defensiveness and ridicule and criticism and manipulation and gaslighting. Oh, sugars. Okay, I'm going to take them, I suppose. Wow, expect powerful change. Adjustments are required. Nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, I feel like this is very much hold your course. Hold the course, because I feel like it's, yeah, it's, oh, I just got a notification from Moon Calendar. New moon today at 5:24 p.m. So for those of you who are, I guess, no, I'll tell you now. In Australia time, New South Wales time, 5:24 p.m. this evening. Yeah, so I feel like it's still not set in stone. There are still some things that need to be done on their part. And I feel like it ties into the new moon. So I feel like this, oh, okay, so the new moon is in Aries. Today's new moon is in Aries and Chiron is also there currently in Aries. And that is in my 9th house with my Saturn. So for those of you around the same age as me, so like 23, 24, you probably have Saturn there with Aries. So Saturn is all this stuff that we're doing. And the 9th house for me is, you know, belief systems, things like that. So I'm definitely clearing out old belief systems when it comes to Chiron, past wounds and past pain. Balance spirituality and practicality. So this is what the adjustments that are needing to be done. Nothing is yet set in stone. There needs to be a balance. So I feel like what am I feeling like that means? What is that telling me? There are still spiritual things and everyday mundane things that need to happen, that need to occur before they can get to that realization or have that realization. If I didn't pause for that long, that wouldn't have happened. Thank you, Spirit. So back to what I was saying about Aries. So yeah, so it's happening in my 9th house and it's happening in his Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, in his 3rd house. So when it comes to communication, stop. That's wild. So for those of you who you're not necessarily resonating the communication aspect for your counterpart, see where Aries is in their chart, assuming you have their birth chart details. See what house Aries is happening in. What else is happening with the counterparts? Okay, full moon in Aries. So it's a new moon in Aries that's happening, but full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. So I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of go. I'm seeing like a jockey on like, don't like it, but a jockey getting a horse to go. And I feel like that's the energy that's sort of underneath all of our asses recently. And especially those counterparts that are needing to do the work. And please don't worry, because they're going to be doing the work in a very different way. It's not going to look the same as us. And I feel like for a lot of them, us doing this work and us coming to them with our realizations, I know that's definitely true for me in my relationship. He'll never admit it yet. But it freaks him out. Not like in a bad way, but it intimidates him. Not intimidates him, but it's confronting. It feels confronting. And I feel like that could be also part of what he is guilty about feeling, because I did a little bit of divination on it the other day, and my self-discovery, and me always wanting self-discovery and always that's part of my purpose, right? Self-discovery. Clearing all of this, one, not only for myself so I can have the life that I dream of having, but also for you guys. It's part of my path to help you guys. And I feel like that's, for right now, confronting for my counterpart. And that's okay. And that's normal. And I understand that. And I would expect that, because not everyone's like me. Not everyone has that calling. Or not everyone has the knowledge of that calling. So I feel like for him, he definitely has a calling to be expressive. And me, so he has his 7th house of relationships and partnerships, Leo in his 7th house. I'm a Leo rising. So that external exertion and expression of energy is very Leo-like for me. It comes very naturally to me. And he also has his North Node there. So North Node is about the energy and what you are becoming, your purpose, what you are needing to become, and that's uncomfortable. His South Node is in Aquarius. His rising and his Sun and his Venus is in Aquarius. So it's how he is and how he's been is very comfortable for him. And you can see, analyze your partner's chart, because you might be able to see how that sort of plays out too. So that's why I'm giving you these examples. And my 7th house is in Aquarius, which is his rising and his Sun. So that's interesting how both of our ascendants are in each other's 7th houses. And I've got Jupiter there. So it's very expansive. The end of a tough cycle approaches for them, but also for us too. So that's really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to put these away, and I just want to ask Spirit. I know we've been here for look, I don't care, however long this takes. Those who need to stay will stay. Okay, so Spirit team, thank you for that. Let's look at the combined energies of the romance card. You are good enough. A new romantic cycle begins. So I feel like we're both coming from a place of, both counterparts are coming from a place of realizing that, okay, we are good enough, and what we're seeing externally isn't a reflection of how our partner sees us. Because for me, what's been showing up, what I'm seeing from him and his energy is making me feel like I'm not enough and I'm not good enough anymore. And for him, I'm sure that me being like, I don't feel loved, I feel neglected, I need this, I need that, is very demeaning for him too, which would translate to the same thing. A new romantic cycle begins. I love that. What else? The answers you need are coming. Luck is on your side. A new start is coming. Beautiful. A new romantic cycle begins. A new start is coming. You are feeling good enough. Luck is on your side, and the answers that we need are coming, which is so affirming. But we pretty much were able to see that at this point. Cool. All right, let's get some tarot just to sort of see if there's any specifics that we can pick up on when it comes to. I'm just going to get a couple of cards for each of these, just to sort of see if there's anything I've missed or anything that Spirit wants to touch on for the collective in a little bit more of a detailed way that I may have skimmed over or missed out on. One card for lovers all around you, us. Page of Pentacles, yeah. So we're coming from a place of learning and discovering things from a different perspective, which is exactly what I was talking about. Okay, Spirit, clarify the union of hearts for our counterparts. Six of Swords. So yeah, so moving on to calmer waters, I feel like together as well. What have I got? Queen of Cups. Okay, being like, I like that they're coming up as the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is trusting of her intuition, but she also understands her emotions and understands things quite well, and is more likely to express those. It's a sense of feeling safe to express those deeper emotions. Knight of Pentacles. I'm really getting a sense of, especially from the imagery on this card, right? This is the After Tarot, and I feel like they're able to come with us with a little bit more of a stable offer, or a stable, I don't know what this is. I'm really feeling like, I'm feeling like our counterparts are coming to us with something. They're giving us something, and it's stable, and it's been carved to perfection. So like, I'm getting a sense of patience here. There's been a sense of patience. We've been patient. We've allowed them the space to create this or to build this in a really wonderful way. They're giving us something here. What are they giving us? And this makes me think it's a physical thing. I really wish it didn't do that though. I think it's a setting that I accidentally put on today, the wrinkle-free setting, and we don't usually use it because it makes that noise, and it's very annoying because it's downstairs and we're not going to go down straight away. I don't usually use that setting, so the fact that I did today, the sun. Okay, I feel like that's confirming that they're giving us something. What are they giving us? Not only is it like, they're giving us stability again, but it's not necessarily like up to them, if that makes sense. Like, we both give each other stability. So, and stability isn't always something that is tangible. What is this? The Emperor. Okay, so maybe it is. No, it's something. Nine of Swords. They're giving us something. They're giving us something tangible after, I don't know why my voice is doing this. Maybe it's them speaking up, or being more expressive, or maybe they're giving us something as a token of their love, a token of their commitment, which that could look different for all of us after they have slayed their demon. Yeah, speaking up, but being able to clearly, because we've given them the time and the space to be able to gather what it is that they want to communicate and how they want to communicate it. And that's what we've been wanting. That's what we've been needing. Yep, okay. That was the Four of Cups. All right, so I just want to ask, oh, okay, yeah, it's leading to a deeper sense of commitment. All right, Spirit team, can you please clarify the romance card a little bit? Yep, okay, so forward moving progression, but it's stable progression. Four of Wands. Lovely. Okay. So definitely, yeah, lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. So it's just enjoying each other's company, celebrating good times, having fun, being present. Yeah, having fun. You guys might go on a date or something this weekend. I know that we're catching up with his cousin and his cousin's girlfriend. And I just hope that he has fun. I just want him to have fun because he hasn't seen her in a while. And I'm really excited. I'm super excited. Yeah, Magician. This is a sense of self-mastery and being able to bring in together what it is that we've wanted. I just feel like it's a sense of flow again, which is really what has been, I thought that the thing was going off again, which is really what has been, feeling as though it's been missing. And that's sort of what has been really worrying most of us. There's something else that I need to... No, there wasn't. Okay, so I think that's all we've got for today, guys. Thank you so much. I know it's an hour and 20 minutes, but I really enjoyed that. That was really fun for me, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it too, and I hope this is reaching everyone that it's supposed to. For those of you who are interested, follow me on my TikTok as well as my Instagram. I do, post daily on there. And for those of you who would like personal readings, you can contact me either on Instagram DMs or you can purchase a reading on my Etsy shop. But for those, if you were wanting a more sort of like in-depth Divine Counterpart reading, like what we've done here, please message me on Instagram, because we can definitely talk about that, and yeah, I can definitely do that for you. So there we go. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really wanting to do more videos like Divine Counterpart love readings and things like that. Let me know if you have any suggestions that you might like to see on this channel. I am also going to be, I'm in the middle of working out a podcast. So anything that you would like me to speak about, anything you would like me to touch on, I'm a multifaceted person with many different interests that I will be sharing. It won't just be this sort of stuff, but when it comes to this stuff, please let me know. Leave me a comment of what you would like to hear me touch on, or any questions you have about specific topics or things like that. Please let me know. And I am thinking of doing a sort of like setting up a Patreon or something like that, where you guys can access like extended readings and exclusive content, things like that. I really love the idea of that. I feel like that'd be really fun. And a good way of creating more of a close-knit community and providing the more in-depth details to that community. All right, guys, follow me on Instagram. It's the same username as this, and follow me on TikTok as well. The link for that will be in the description, as well as the links for all the songs I've mentioned will also be in the description, as well as the Spotify playlist that I will be continuously adding to every week. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this resonated, and I hope you guys enjoyed this message and this video, and I will be back on Monday with the week ahead. All right.